Kristen, we are live and we have the Queen of Ravens with the Soul Tribe blessing our channel today, Kristen.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Kristen, how are you?
I'm good. Welcome, the Queen of Ravens. How are you?
Wow, that's quite a title.
Yes,
I love
Janine,
it.
it's true. You are the Queen of Ravens, and we were talking a little bit backstage. We were talking. We would not be here without you. We would not have our Soul Tribe without you. You are the Queen of Ravens, 1,000%.
Wow,
correct.
I love it.
So this is what we're going to kind of do. We're going to have Janine here for the first hour, and then she has to go, but we're going to continue to do our show. So the super chats, if I could have my moderators, shout out to the moderators. You guys are doing a great job squashing those trolls. If I could hold off on all super chats for right now, we have so many super chats. So no more super chats at this time. Super stickers are more than welcome to come. And guys, we are so excited. Everyone's excited. I feel the energy in the chat 1,000% right here, right now. We're going to give a few more people time to go ahead and come on in. We are going to plug where you can find the Queen of Ravens. If you guys want to follow her, and I highly suggest that you go follow her on her website, our moderators will plug in that information in the chat. So guys, go ahead and look for that. It's at Kristen, I know that you've had some sort of spiritual attack on you today. Would you like to share what is happening?
Yeah, I'm not certain if it is, but I just have a hunch. It happened last night. All I was doing was I was gonna sit on my top of my stairs, just on the first seat. I was on the phone, and all of a sudden, a sharp stabbing pain into my left foot, and now I can't even walk on my left foot.
Whoa.
I had to crawl to get in my desk.
Yeah. Whoa, that's weird.
Yeah.
I want to look at it.
Yeah. It's weird, but nothing can stop me.
Wow. Right on. Okay, let's have a look.
Okay.
Yes, Janine's going to pull cards, see what's going on here.
Yes.
Oh, you bet it's some kind of an attack. Somebody wishes to silence you. And I would normally say they want you to get the word out, but not with it when it's aspected with that tower.
Oh.
So they're afraid of what you're going to say. So their wish was to silence.
Wow.
And will shut you down. So you must be on to something. It feels like so this is in the past. It feels like they've been waiting a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And you're working a long time on, working some magic on you there. It's somebody you know from a past life. It may not even be specifically about what you're saying on the channel. It might be in your personal life.
Oh.
Like you know them in a past life, but not necessarily in a good way. You know how sometimes our friends are past life enemies and we meet up with them again and we feel really attracted to them because there's something to work out there, but it's not always a good thing. And usually it'll teach you boundaries. I think there's somebody you need good boundaries with because they're getting to you or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yep. All right. That makes sense then. Wow. But how dare they?
I was doing my meditation last night and you sent that to me and I knew something was happening to you. I could feel it. And that's why I asked. And that's why I wanted to ask Janine what was going on with this. And I knew it was a spiritual attack. They were trying to get to you, Kristen, and Janine confirming this.
Yeah. I do get a lot of hate mail from, but I block them, They're like from the past. Like they find out that I have a channel and they, harassment. So block.
Later.
Yeah. See you later. Get out of here.
Janine, I was watching your show last night on the pay-per-view with John Claude, and I want to give a shout out to John Claude. And I was talking to you and Kristen before the show. We wouldn't have our show without John Claude and you. We kind of got that idea to let's spark it up because we are a younger generation. We need to get that word out to everybody, and you really did inspire us, and you did give us our first big break. So, like I said, we are eternally grateful to you and John Claude. Shout out to John Claude. Maybe he'll have us on Beyond Mystic. I would love to be on there, Chris. I would love it.
Of course you would.
Now, Janine, we're just waiting for a few more people to come in,
Mhm.
but like our soul tribe has known, that raven was sent to me at the Grand Canyon. Nobody knew I was going to the Grand Canyon, not even Kristen. She
No.
didn't know until Friday night. So she didn't even know. I said, I'm at the Grand Canyon in case someone's looking for me. I'm at the Grand Canyon. I need to go on a spiritual journey for my awakening. So Janine, this raven was crowing out my window. It was following me to the Grand Canyon on each little stop that it did around the South Rim. So I know that you were contacting Kristen, and she was saying that you do send ravens out to the truthers, like in the morning when you have your coffee. So if I could be so gracious, if you could pull some cards, what is that message? What was that message? What was that purpose for that raven to me?
Yeah, every morning I sit on my little stoop if I can, I couldn't say every single morning, but most mornings I'm sitting on my stoop first thing, having a coffee and thinking about everybody in this community. And we're all in the same community. I know your communities is similar to our communities. A lot of them are the same people.
Yeah.
And I just send out, so I imagine a tree in front of me, all of a sudden a tree comes in front of me and it fills with ravens, and I just heap a whole bunch of love and good intentions, and I send them out to all the truthers. So anybody who needs extra TLC or whatever it is they need, those ravens are there to, shower them with the energy, whatever it is they're looking for or they need. Because I know we're all working super hard and it's getting really hard. It's kind of dreary. We're in the doldrums before big events start happening, and it's just getting really hard. It's like a grind. So I'm doing it especially right now for the truthers. So I'm sure that was one of my ravens. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, this is interesting. So it was a warning. And we've got this, so there's a direction. But this feels like the warning is that you should drop your doubts and fears about a new direction. So this could even be internalized where you're being hard on yourself, doubting and fearing a new direction. You were told a while back to go in the direction and you kind of put it underneath, and it has something to do with possibly writing a book or something, or creating something with written word, putting something out there even more public than you do already. So you've got it sort of down under here, but you know about it in your unconscious. But the raven wanted to remind you to get that project as soon as the really big stuff goes, as soon as the really big stuff happens, because this is my deep state dark cult kind of card. When that all comes down, like when the curtain comes down, and that looks like we're really close to that, okay, it'll be time for you to get that book out.
Ooh.
Or whatever it is you're supposed to do.
wow.
Right after that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I don't know how. Oh, that is absolutely divine, because people that know me, I am an amazing writer, 1,000%. Amazing writer, very descriptive, very vivid writing. So that really resonated 1,000%.
Cool. Okay.
Wow. Okay, Kristen, I know you had a couple of questions for Janine. We kind of wanted to make it a little light. We are going to get to the hard-hitting facts, 1,000%. We are going to get to some juicy details, if you know what I mean. But you do have some questions on the lighter side for Janine, Kristen. So do I. So, Kristen, what's your question for Janine?
I was wondering what are your best tips for protection, as readers and for hosts like you too. Like, what are the best tips that you have for protection?
Okay. Well, I got lots of sea salt around the room I read in.
Oh.
And so I sprinkle sea salt, and especially just lightly in front of the doors. And of course, sometime in the week it'll get vacuumed up. So I do it once a week. So I just do a tiny sprinkle, and that's an age-old practice. And anyone can get their hands on sea salt. It's pretty easy to get you, and it's cheap and cheerful, right? Yeah. And then, of course, tourmaline. Now, this is a huge piece of tourmaline. You only need a little tiny piece. And for $3.50 Canadian, you could get a piece like that, big enough to clean the whole room. So what it does, it's a transmutation stone, black tourmaline. So it literally, it's a crystal, but it's black, and it transmutes energy. So it takes energy out of the room that's negative. So if anybody sent you energy, it's going to absorb it.
Nice.
Okay, so and if you're really feeling like somebody's sending, put it in front of the door while you're in the room, or just under where the window is, or on a windowsill. And that way, whatever's coming through, now you have salt and a tourmaline. So I'm all into like kind of rituals like that. I love smudging. So if something really weird happens during a show or during my day, I'll smudge that off and clear the energy. If I feel like somebody's shooting me some, or I read something where somebody did a whole video on Janine's a psyop or whatever, that's happened lots of times. I smudge. So I'll smudge just so I don't take it personally, because, there's a lot of trolls out there. There's also the dark, the bad guys out there, and they're making all kinds of videos, and it's literally just trolling. If you're getting trolled a lot, it's because you're probably talking truth.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have 82%. We have 82% female, Janine, 17%, and then 1% troll. But we captured one of the commanders. We captured, and he's telling us all the secrets of the dark, deep trolls. If you know what I mean.
I like the smudge. Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah,
that was great, because we do need to have the protection with the work that we're doing, with the work that Janine is doing. Kristen, for sure, because you are just you're doing it all day. You're doing it all day, not just on the show.
Yeah, I gotta get my salt and my tourmaline.
A salt bath.
Okay.
Is it Kristen or Kirsten?
It doesn't matter, but it's Kristen.
Kristen. Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I said it right, because I'm famous for not saying names right.
You know what? Every day it's a different name. Usually I'm on Canada.
Okay.
Everyone's like,
You know what you can do after a long day when you've been reading a lot of people? Have a bath with your little piece of tourmaline in the tub with you.
Oh.
And sea salt in the tub. Every single night after I read my clientele, because I read 6 days a week, because I was a single mom and I was bringing up kids, right? Yeah. So I read a lot. It was my livelihood and my sole income. So I would have a lot of clients in the day, and I would have to clear their energy so I could get back to myself.
Yes.
Right. And also clear away any kind of negativity I might have picked up from the people. Not that they were bad or whatever, but sometimes they were carrying some energy, right?
Yeah.
You had a little tourmaline in the tub, and you put the plug, obviously, so it doesn't go down the drain, and then maybe a cup of sea salt. Sounds like a lot, but that'll work.
Sounds good.
And it'll clear you'll feel way better.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Yep.
Yeah, excellent advice. People in the chat are giving you so much love, Janine, which you 1,000% deserve. 1,000%. They are saying that we are color coordinating, which is true. I'm wearing the black for my sister, who is an angelic tarot reader, and my sister. And then we have the Queen of Ravens in purple, and I got the tie on for Janine. So
it's perfect.
I am being blessed here to have the two greatest, in my opinion, tarot readers here on the Soul Tribe channel. 1,000%.
Very cool.
Sweet.
I have a question for Janine. It's just on a basic personable level. Janine, what is your favorite types of food to eat? Just like, what are your favorite comfort foods to eat? Kind of getting to know Janine outside of the tarot.
I'm from Alberta, so Canada, Alberta, and this is going to really offend the vegans. I like a nice medium rare steak.
Ooh.
And I love pasta. I love most foods.
Thank you.
I love food. I like curries. I like Greek food.
Wow.
Yeah,
very nice.
Italian probably is up there, though. I'm not Italian, but I sure love Italian food. And I think I was Greek in a past life, because when I went to Greece, I just totally could have lived on Greek salads and the way they cook eggs every morning. Yeah. So lots of food. I like food in general is my favorite.
Mine too.
I'm not gonna lie.
Good. I love it all. Greek salad too. #1 salad for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm monitoring the regular chat. We do have the super chats as well. I think I want to ask maybe a more serious question, Janine. We're about 15 minutes in. So
Okay.
here's a more serious, and Kristen, feel free to pull cards as well to see what you get as well, okay? Janine,
okay.
we know that you are the queen of ravens. I'm talking about a different type of bird with my next question. I'm talking about
Okay.
a swan. I'm talking about a swan. Do
Swan.
you see or foresee a black swan event in the near future in the month of August?
That's cool.
So give me an example in your mind of a black swan event.
Let's see. Okay, how about two different countries going to battle?
Okay, that's what you're getting at. Okay. So they've been working on that, and that's a scenario that's been around for a really long time. This Eight of Pentacles, this guy's been working on. So there's an 80% chance that that's something in the movie already pre-planned for us. It's they're sitting there waiting. It's some of the people that are involved in making these decisions. So I'd say the White Hats and the Alliance are maybe even at odds as to whether that should go ahead. And that's the holdup. So they might have, so since it's 80% and they already have it worked into the script somehow, it's a big potential, but some of them are against it, likely because it would be fairly traumatic. There's a lot of sleepers out there that wouldn't know what on earth was going on. You know, we could handle it,
Yeah.
right? So
Right.
this card says they're hidden. There's about 5 or 6 other things hidden under this guy's cloak that could go forward. So that my King of Cups, and this was above him, so he's not that well aspected. So I feel like there's a few other things they're going to try first. So I think that's something that they have on ready to go, and they're even posturing for it as we speak. Look where Nancy Pelosi is, right?
Right.
Yeah, so there's all this posturing, getting ready for that potential, but there's a few things I think with that death card. So it's like something has to die and rebirth. So someone maybe even has to go first before that would be something that they would feel comfortable doing. So I feel like they've got all kinds of other things ready to go as well that could do the same job. And as soon as they're finished duking it out there, but there's an 80% chance already. It's been written into the script in case they need it.
Do you think this would, or do you think that this is the scare event that is on that special message board that we look at? Do you think that's what we're talking about here? The 80% chance of this being the scare event?
Yeah, it could be one of them. But there's another scare event that might involve off-world or other dimensional or more advanced beings than ourselves.
Wow.
That would be another one. And because these two cards, so the Magician, so many, you could name 3 or 4 even things they could come up with. And I feel like, I don't know why, but they're all ready. It's like they've prepped for all of them. And if you look out there in what people are saying, it's all ready to go. And any one of them they could pull out of the hat depending on at the last minute what they think would be perfect.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So we got the Three Gorge Dam ready to go. Part of it's already down as far as I think, what I get in my cards. We've got, so that could go at any time. We got that as potential event in New York that a lot of people have been talking about. So that could come along. We have what's happening with the US and China. We got in Taiwan. We got, so things sometimes don't work. I think they had the Ukraine was fixed to be something, but that diffused. And the truth came out fast and hard that what was really going on there. And so that's not really going to work for a scare event because now the Russians didn't look as bad as they did before. So people started to realize what really they were doing and what Ukraine was really up to and who's funding Ukraine, all that kind of stuff. So that sort of got diffused because too many people were onto them. So I think the white hats are trying to calm down how much info is out there so they can get away with one of these events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And here's maybe a follow-up question to that. If this Black Swan event happens, will this be the domino that takes out any type of financial systems like the stock market specifically? Will this catapult the stock market to crashing? Entertainment purposes only, of course, but not really.
Yeah.
Of course. Oh, that's the first card. So we don't even have to pull more cards. That's a big yes. That's a really enthusiastic, fiery yes.
Mm-hmm.
That.
There
Yeah.
is. We have a lot of different truthers out there. I'm sure you're aware of that too, Janine, about silver possibly going down, the stock market, cryptocurrencies. So this looks like it is about to hit the climax for some big major things to happen in the month of August.
Yeah.
Absolutely epic. Kristen, do you have a question for Janine, or I have a couple more?
I was going to ask about, this is not, it was off topic now, but about the ascension. What are your thoughts on the ascension? And are you having symptoms and stuff too?
Oh, yeah. I think we've all been going through varying degrees of it since we woke up. And some people woke up, 20, 30 years ago. I understand that. But for the most part, a lot of us woke up around lockdown number 1 time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then it just like I was awake to I didn't trust the medical system my whole life, and I definitely don't trust organized religion. So I was and I didn't really trust the government, but I didn't really understand just the extent and why I didn't trust them, but I really didn't. But a real wake up time really happened about 3 years ago, I'd say, for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the ascension has been it's almost like a wave comes in, like a tide, and then backs off and then comes and gets more intense every time, just like when you're labor pains. I had 2 kids, so I'll liken it to labor. Just at the beginning, they come in hot, and then it feels like an oven door opens and it gets really hot and it's really intense. And then they ease off just long enough so you can stand another one and the heat gets hotter. I feel like that's sort of what's happening with the ascension. I think it's over time we're ascending and evolving. I think we are since the beginning of our birth even, but in particular, it's really speeded up.
Oh,
right? Because the things that are happening right now, and also astrologically, it's speeding it up. So I'm feeling all kinds of things. Sometimes it's horrifying. It's a lot of physical weird things going on, and then other days it's feels like time warp. Okay, so I'll go to do something, and it'll take hours and hours. It'll seem, but it's only been 20 minutes, and then so the times things getting a little weird lately for sure.
Yeah, I noticed that big time. Oh my gosh. And then I'm having visions too. Like visions. They're scary sometimes. But yeah, it's intense.
Like what kind of visions?
I have seen a woman in my bedroom in a long white gown, like a wedding gown, but a very old fashioned kind, in the corner of my room and in the corner of my peripheral. And I would check and see, is she really there? And she's there.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is, but I keep seeing her. I've seen her 3 times.
You want me to ask?
Sure.
Let's ask.
Yeah.
Another reader should always read for readers.
Yes.
Because we can't necessarily be objective enough to read a real personal thing for ourselves like that.
No.
So it's always nice to get together with other readers.
It's true. I always make the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles come out, and I'm like, that's not accurate.
Okay, she's working with you.
Oh.
So she's working with you. She's been with you maybe since the beginning of this lifetime.
Oh.
And she has great wishes for you. We got that. Whoops. She wishes the best for you. She's there to help you come to your full fruition with your talents and abilities.
Oh, wow. Good.
Yeah. And she says you're going to channel something really profound, and it'll put your career on the fast lane, and you'll become very comfortable financially because you're meant to be comfortable because you are a Capricorn, aren't you?
I am.
There you go. Yeah, earth sign, so you have to be comfortable. And I feel like, but it'll be particularly something you particularly put out there that'll become known as something you said, and it'll
Wow.
make a big splash.
Ooh, well, that's exciting. I'm
And
glad.
she's going to help you with that.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for pulling cards on that. Yeah.
Now you don't have to worry. I mean, it's a good thing that that woman is in your bedroom.
Yeah, I just wondered who she is because she did like I don't feel that she's old. I feel like she's beautiful, but and you know, it's like, what are you here for? But oh, that's so nice. Thank
I
you.
get she was you in a past life, so she's your some knowledge you have, and she had a sad lifetime, and she wants to make sure nothing like that ever happens to you again. She had a really sad lifetime, and she was not honored for her gifts and could have even been persecuted for her intuitive abilities.
Okay.
She was a healer and an intuitive, and she wants to now. She knows the times come for people like yourself and myself and people that do this kind of work, because we used to be persecuted and called evil and ridiculous things, and this and burned at the stake, etc. So she wants to help you, and it'll heal that part of you that was her.
Wow, that makes sense because I always had a hunch that I was burned at the stake. For sure. You just, it's just a knowing, like, yep. Always in trouble.
Guys, I just want to give a shout out to all the Soul Tribe members who are tuning in right now. Thank you guys so much. We have the Queen of Ravens with us. Shout out to the moderators. You guys are doing a fantastic job. I am going to take a few questions from the super chats, from the regular chats for Janine. Janine, this one could be a little controversial, if you know what I mean. It's about another truther. I really do love Cliff High. I love Cliff High. We both, Kristen and I, use his Pure Sleep. That's how I kind of woke up when he was doing his videos during the first lockdown. Let's just call it that. Apparently, he came out today or posted about a Charlie Ward. He had said that Charlie Ward has been replaced by a clone for entertainment purposes only. If we could pull cards maybe on that, is that information accurate, or is it kind of just for publicity? I don't think Cliff High would just go ahead and say that.
Okay, I think he backed it up with, he's trying to show people how easy it is to be fooled. And he wants to show people to do their research. And I think Jean-Claude mentions that on last night's show. So he didn't mean for that per se, is what I understood. So I don't know. I'll pull cards. But as far as I know, Cliff was showing you how ridiculous some of the information is out there. And you can't believe what you're reading. You have to do your own research. Don't believe everything. Like, I think he was making an example, which, I'm not sure that was the greatest idea to do.
Right, but we get his point. Is not anything that anyone says. You have to do your own research, and that's what our show's about. I know that's what your show is about too, and Jean-Claude's. Everyone has to use their discernment and do their own research, but pretty provocative at the same time, Cliff High.
Yeah. I can't see Cliff High walking away from things just because they were provocative.
Right. I know.
Okay. Yeah, it was his version of teaching you something is what I'm getting. So he's trying to show you just the kind of stuff that's out there and how dysfunctional things can get. And whether we like that approach or not, it's I feel like it's gossip and hearsay. Yeah, he's trying to get people to think for themselves, use their own discernment. This is what he's trying to get you to do. Okay, like when you read the details about it, it almost goes off the scales with exaggeration and silliness. I mean, it kind of sounds like real raw news the way they do it,
Right.
where they take maybe a grain of truth. So possibly, there's something, a grain of truth in Cliff believes that could happen, or I'm not saying that's true, but I don't know.
Right.
Okay, so you take something and then you run with it and make up a whole bunch of stuff. He's trying to show you that people do that, so you have to be careful. I feel like he's maybe it was even a humorous thing for Cliff. I mean, not everybody has the same humor as Cliff High.
Right. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's good.
He made it up. Okay, so this is what's so interesting, though, because some people are running with it and actually say there's intel out there like that. So maybe he was intuiting that, or maybe other people ran with it and believed it was true. And yeah, so it's going to get very confusing, but it'll have to take literally Simon Parkes and Charlie Ward to come out and show themselves and talk about it, I guess, because it's going to go quite a ways before it dies down, we'll say.
Okay.
All right, I love it. Entertainment purposes only, Cliff High. We love it. Kristen, absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. We love Cliff High. We love Charlie Ward. We love Simon Park. All the truthers out there are uniting. We need to stay together. Do your own research. Have your own discernment. Now is not the time for infighting. 1,000%. We are all in this together. And it's kind of like, that's why we have the Soul Tribe. Doesn't matter where you guys are from, different countries, different races, ethnicities. It doesn't matter. We are one. We are a soul tribe, and we're all coming together at this time for this epic moment that we are about to experience. It is happening. It's coming soon, Kristen. And Janine, when we look at the Q board, that special board, that special letter of the alphabet, on his recent post, or their recent post, it says, "Shall we play a game once more?" Can we pull cards? What did they mean by that? Can we play a game once more? Kristen, I want you to pull cards too. I want to see what you're getting as well. Get your investigator deck. Get what you want to get, Kristen. Like I said, I'm blessed with the 2 best tarot readers ever right here on the show. Our Soul Tribe is salivating at the mouth. What was meant by this? Shall we play a game once more?
Okay, you want me to go?
Yes, Janine, you could go first, and then Kristen.
So they were putting it out there. This is like sending out a message. So, and there was a lot of messages, not just from those words, but maybe the gematria that goes along with it. And there was more than just even the words there. And they're trying to draw you back into, and also let you understand that they're for humanity. So they want you to know that they're working with you for the good of humanity. So, they're trying to draw you into listening to what they say again. So they're intriguing you. So they're just using language to intrigue. And this is in the past because they'd been quiet for a while. So they took a back seat, and they took a back seat. And so now they needed to intrigue people in again. So it's almost like maybe some people dropped off the queue, 17th letter of the alphabet.
That's all right. We're just playing a card game. That's all.
Yeah, they dropped off, and maybe they needed to get them into it again. So it's like luring them into the game again, and giving them a hint that they're going to be things are starting to heat up here.
Ooh, we like that. Spicy.
Yeah.
Kristen, what did you get?
Similar cards. I even got this one too. It is information about humanity. It is being held right now, but it's going to come out when it's ready. But it's like on hold. It's about to come.
It's about to pop off.
It is.
I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Entertainment purposes only, but not really.
I mean, we don't know the day and time, but I mean, it's coming.
Right.
It's like he's just sitting there. He's got it close to him, and he can just say it whenever he feels.
Yep.
It's coming.
Janine, on our channel, what we usually do, we have our lives, and then usually about once per hour, we have Kristen pull cards on a random subscriber, a random Soul Tribe member who is in the chat. But
Okay.
it is a special day
It
because
is
we have the
special.
Ravens with us, and I think this would be an honor for Kristen. If you are okay with it,
Yeah.
Kristen, I would like you to pull cards on Janine, any kind of message that you have for Janine going forward.
I love it.
Okay. Cool. Let's do it. All right.
Is that a tourmaline you're holding?
This one right here is my smoky quartz, this one, and then I have my black moonstone.
Mm,
And then I have my bracelet. So
very good. Yeah.
yes.
All right. So first, this one coming at you was with what happened to, your channel. It was the bad guys because your information is very accurate. But they can't hold you down because now your whole new beginning with your platform, that's all you need. They've given you all the strength you need. Like that's a blessing in disguise. Like you know what I mean?
It did kind of work out. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a lot of help from Jean-Claude and Julie for sure. And everybody else, not just them, all the tribe and our soul tribe, because we're talking about the same people.
Absolutely.
And I got so much help and love. And if somebody couldn't, support me financially, which they didn't need to, that's for sure, but they sure did. I mean, it was so kind and generous. But if they didn't do it that way, they did it with heaps of love and encouragement, which is precious. You can't buy that kind of energy, the kind of energy I was getting. And and then Jean-Claude and Julie put that website together so fast. They worked day and night. It kind of burnt Julie out, unfortunately. She's still recuperating because she worked so hard. So I send them ravens every day too.
Wow.
To recover.
And it's beautiful. It's a nice, I love your site. It's beautiful. And you can say whatever you feel to say.
It feels more personal too. It feels like I can connect with the people more.
Yeah, I love it.
Like on YouTube, you got so many trolls, like you don't know who you're talking to. There's thousands of people, probably even more thousands than they say there are, right? So that could look really impressive and everything, but a whole lot of them are trolls and haters. So it's like, yikes.
I know.
Really people that appreciate what you're talking about, and they just want to listen for their own discernment, and they're not just there to troll you. Yeah, it's pretty
Nice. Sweet. I think it's beautiful for you. It's a good thing. It turned into a great positive for sure.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah.
It's a beautiful reading. I love doing that for our Soul Tribe family when we have of course, we have the Queen of Ravens, and I knew it would be such an honor for Kristen to read for Janine. Like,
I know.
Once in a lifetime event.
It is.
But hopefully, Janine, you come back. Hopefully, you come back after today because we would love to have you on again.
Right on. Yeah.
I was watching you on Megan Rose's channel, and we love Megan Rose. Shout out to Megan Rose. We love Megan. We love the information that she is sharing with the community as well. You guys were talking about AI and how AI is trying to basically all the bots trying to take down channels and kind of. My main question is, if the solar flash happens, I think Megan has the belief that solar flashes happen all the time. It's not just like one major flash. If I'm correct, are we going to see any kind of any kind of relief from the AI, or is it only going to get worse and worse for truthers out there trying to get the information out? Entertainment purposes only, of course.
Yeah.
So a lot of the AI was already dealt with in a big way. So there might be some almost like minions still doing the work of the AI or dark cult or the deep state, sort of their robots or minions or whatever. But I feel like that's already been mainly dealt with, that part of the movie. And what's lingering could even be white hats letting it happen. Because they want you to know just what those guys had planned for everybody. and
Right.
just what those, so they've left a few booby traps of them.
Or
Mhm.
like landmines.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
these two cards were around it. So that's Mr. T in the white hats kind of card. And that's full. They've left them. So you can have an idea what these guys were up to. They're going to want to point back at these guys and go, this is what you were seeing there, and this is what they were doing. Because if they just cleaned it all up on the background, people would never understand the work that went into it, what we were up against. People forget really quickly unless they get some gut punches, unfortunately. Human nature doesn't grow or learn. Think about this. My biggest growth in my 61 years of my life, my biggest growth was when I was up against a wall and it was really hard. My biggest leaps of consciousness and where I got really wise and strong and powerful. And because of those times in my life, I know I could face anything. If I was totally destitute financially again, ever in my life, I could totally make it work because I know how now. Because I've been there on several occasions and I rose up from it and recreated myself so many times. Now I'll never be there again unless the universe thinks for some reason it's a good idea. But I don't feel like I'm going there again. And I feel like those experiences brought me to exactly where I am. And I can now turn around and go, you know what, this is all, we're going to get this. We're going to figure this out, you guys, because I've been through so much in my life that I know for a personal fact that the universe does love us, loves me, and always brings me to a higher elevation after the big lessons.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
That's
think a lot of our Soul Tribe members, especially myself, I think Kristen could speak of it to it as well. Like personal life information, like we've had a difficult life for sure. Kristen, you and I know our family, our mom, like we've had a difficult
Yeah.
life. But you're right. We did learn from those experiences, and it did make us a much better or ascended person, 1,000%. We
Yeah.
wouldn't be here today without that
Yep.
negative energy.
No.
We transmuted that energy
Yep.
into something positive, and now that's what we're doing, Kristen. Our
Mhm.
life purpose or our soul contract is to go and now help others, and I think that's
Yeah.
what we're doing, along with being 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like my training.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
all different walks of life, and then I had to start from ground zero multiple times. You know,
Yeah.
looking for coins in my car.
Yeah.
You know, and then here I am.
I lived in my truck with my 6-month-old, a
Oh my
dog, and a pregnant cat, and my 6-month-old and my the father of my 6-month-old. We lived in a truck we were in a tent for a while in the Haida Gwaii, and then the weather got really bad and we hadn't found a cabin yet. So we'd moved out there when Raven was only 6 months old. We just spiritually knew we just had to do it. And here I'd named my daughter Raven, and then I went to the land of the ravens and got medicine trained by a raven medicine man. So there you go. But anyway, yeah, so it was all meant to be, but it was really hard the first 6 months there because we didn't have a place to live and we were living out of our tent, or first out of our tent, and then the rain started, so we had to move into the truck. And finally some local knocked on the door, and he's still a really good friend of mine, Reme, and I'll never forget, he was so kind. And I know a cabin, you guys, we're going to find you a cabin. So he went and rounded up this dirty old cabin, but we cleaned it up. It took about 4 days of muscle, and it had just a wood stove, and the owner of the cabin said we could rent it, and for $350 a month we rented it, and that included the wood that we could burn in it was a wood stove, and that's what we cooked on. It was awesome.
Oh, that is nice. Yeah.
We had $1 million view, $1 million view. We were right on the ocean, facing from Haida Gwaii, facing Japan.
Whoa, I would love that. That
It
is
was a strait that goes to Japan if you keep going. So we had $1 million view, and living in a little shack. It was some of the best time of my life.
It is. Yeah. I mean, wow, that's an inspirational story too. It's beautiful. And I actually can relate a little bit too. I lived in a car for my little car, a little Kia, for 2 months because I was in a bad relationship. So I left it. But man, those times, like you were just saying, that beautiful story, that's when you really learn things and you appreciate things and you grow. Wow. Thank you for sharing that with us. Like, we didn't know. We didn't know that. Wow.
I mean, I didn't think it could get any better, but you just made my heart grow, and just I know you were touching everyone's heart in the chat, because I've never heard that story from you, and you coming on and sharing that personal story. I know a lot of people during this time, they need inspiration, and what a beautiful inspirational story that you just shared.
So strong, beautiful, and so strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Janine, I know you are a native of Canada, of course. Everyone knows that. I am in Ontario, California right now. So it's a strong, very weird connection right there.
Interesting. Yeah.
Could you pull cards for your natives in Canada right now? Kind of what message can you give our Canadian Soul Tribe members who are north of the border?
I'm feeling like there's some karmic justice for the Indigenous people of Canada, a long deserved, okay, from the government. Like, so this can be a government card, okay, and because it was next to this card, now it's the badly aspected. Usually I get this as my Mr. T in the white hats also, or Mr. T himself card, but not if it's badly aspected. So I'm going to go with this could be a government card. And we know that the government and most Indigenous peoples in the world, like their First Nations people of all places, were badly treated by their incoming new government who wanted to, claim the land for their own, right? So they were pillaged and literally genocided, like lots of, including, North Americans, South Americans, Indigenous people of Australia. It's happened everywhere. Even the tribes and pagan people back in the day, like those Indigenous people, they got rounded up as heretics. And anyway, we could go on and on, but so they were repressed, but that's all going to change. So there's a big change coming where there's going to be some kind of balance and retribution for what was taken away. These people are going to regain their personal honors as people, instead of being like third-class people, treated like third-class people in their own country. They're actually going to be looked towards as leaders in the country. And I've been getting that for a really long time, where over the next few years, you're going to find the new leaders and the new leadership largely will come from First Nations peoples all over the world.
Wow.
I agree. I'm doing my research, and also the show from our Soul Tribe members, their questions and what we're getting, that absolutely correlates to readings that Kristen has been getting, as well as what you just shared, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Wow. What a beautiful message. What a beautiful message. Here's my next. Kristen, do you have any questions for Janine? Because I have a few more. We're about at the 50-minute mark, so we have about 10 more minutes here with the Queen of Ravens. Kristen, do you have any questions for Janine?
I am curious, what is your favorite crystal to wear?
Smoky quartz.
Oh, wow. Jason loves that too. It's
That's
beautiful.
my rock.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something personal about smoky quartz?
Yes.
So I'm not assuming that this pertains to you, Jason, or doesn't. I'm just going to put it out there. But what my feeling about it is, and I was always attracted to it. And as I studied astrology, I started to realize I have a Scorpio moon, and to a 16 degree, I believe. And Scorpio moon peoples have been usually enslaved for lifetimes. Like, so the tunnel stories, as soon as I heard them, I knew I was part of that. I was trafficked by the deep state dark cult. And when I hear people talking about it, like Jeanette Archer, and like, it really touches my heart. Like lots of people have been coming out with their stories about it. This lifetime they've endured it. but I remember stuff like that, like those hunts by the elites hunting people and kids. I was one of those kids, but I think John Claude was as well. And I think a lot of the Soul Tribe was, frankly, could have been various different lifetimes spent at the hands of the brutality of the dark cult, the deep state. And that's why we're all here fighting this fight together. Karmically, we came back together to fight the fight. So smoky quartz, when you're attracted to it, often indicates sexual and or traffic type energy in past either lives or this lifetime. So there's a healing around that kind of where you were abused, and in particular to do with intimate abuse.
Wow.
Now, Kristen had pulled cards on me previously, of course. I mean, you're my sister. You always pull cards on me. I mean, you're like 24. But she did say that I had a past life of helping children who were abused. And that's what, I mean, I am a school psychologist here in Ontario, California, and I'm helping students who are disabled, either with their special education, autism, emotionally disturbed, a lot of behavior problems. That's my passion. That's what I do. So she did pull cards, and that's kind of like what my inspiration was back then, is helping children who were abused. So I definitely resonate with my smoky quartz and what you just spoke of. You can't even make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah. It's very healing to wear or handle if you've had those kind of things, or you're around people that are dealing with it, for sure.
Yeah, I absolutely, like, I carry it around with me everywhere I go, no matter where I'm at. It's either in my pocket or I'm carrying it with. I don't know how you knew that, Janine. I mean, you're amazing. I just can't stop smiling because of how gifted you are and how blessed Kristen and I have been to have you give us that shout out on Beyond Mystic. And like I've always said, that we would always be grateful for you.
Sweet. I just intuited that you guys needed, you needed to be, I just shout out intuitively, like I got hawk medicine. So I got lots of totems, and a lot of them are birds. Crows, definitely. Crows like to squawk or remind people what their karma is. So when I was reading cards, sometimes I'd tell people things they didn't want to hear. That's crow. And then raven is the healer who sends out loving energy, but they do it more private. So I do that constantly. Anybody, if I'm standing in line and I feel somebody in front of me is having a hard day, I send them ravens without them knowing. And I send people ravens literally, and that's why I say that saying. So I'm sending them healing love. So that's my raven totem. But hawk totem is when stuff will come out your mouth. And it's not up to you. So the universe wanted to shout you guys out, and they just used me to do it, because we weren't planning to do that, Jean-Claude and I. And then he's brilliant. The guy's so intuitive too. He just got right away, found you guys' webs or your channel and showed it. Like, that's just where he comes in, and we make a great team, Jean-Claude and I. But we were in those tunnels together. We have memories of it.
I remember watching, I mean, this was probably a while back, that you guys did have a lot of past lives with each other, and a very strong connection. So absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been watching Jean-Claude. I was watching Jean-Claude for years. And then my mom was watching you. And then that was before you and Jean-Claude even came together. Yeah. We were watching you guys separately. And then you guys all of a sudden were on Beyond Mystic. And then you're like, I watched Jean-Claude, she watched Janine. And then look how this came full circle. Kristen had her channel. I joined Kristen's channel. You shouted us out with Jean-Claude, and now here you are with the Soul Tribe.
Sweet. Yeah. I knew something good was coming, and it's on my website, but I love it because I know it was you, Janine. It was February 22nd, 2022. I was getting gas at the gas station. I see a beautiful rainbow. It was only not even 2 minutes long, because then the clouds covered it. But I'm like, that means something spiritually. The rainbow has a spiritual meaning. It's abundance. It's good things are coming. Because I was feeling down, getting the gas. But it happened March 9th. He shouted us out, and I knew something good's coming. So it changed my mind about things. But then it happened like a couple
Yeah.
weeks later. So
Yeah.
I know it was you.
Aw.
For sure.
Yes.
We got lucky.
You're an amazing soul, Janine. Kristen, you are too. And it was so nice. And I don't want this to be the only time that you are here
No.
on our channel. This hour went by so fast. So fast. Like, I know our shows go a little long. Like, we go 3 hours, Janine. We go
Yeah, you guys are hardcore.
we are hardcore 1,000%.
I used to give him crap about it, but he's all right now.
I know you used to like, I can't go that, but like, trust me, it goes by so fast.
It does.
So in the closing minutes that we have Janine here on the Soul Tribe on Arcana Shores, Janine, can you give our Soul Tribe members watching right now a message, maybe a message of hope, any kind of guidance that you can give us moving forward as we go into battle for entertainment purposes only, but not really?
Okay, there's a lot of disappointment around what is or isn't happening with the White Hats and or Mr. T, or both, right? Because we were expecting those guys to step out a long time ago, weren't we? So there's a lot of disappointment around that, or people feeling a bit disappointed. This is in the past, so strength. So there has been a lot going on and a lot's been done. So that may or may not help you through while you're waiting for things, the big shift, right? Because it's still, if you just look out there, it still looks like the bad guys are winning, right? Like if you just looked out there and you weren't really paying attention, it actually looks like the bad guys are winning. But when you really start paying attention, it's pretty darn obvious what a movie we're watching, okay? But it's just taking so long. This is the slow care, like this is the dark night of the soul. We're in the dark night of the soul as humans. So we're going out of the darkness that's been over the human race. We didn't even know.
Right.
We thought this was a great place. Then we started seeing how brainwashed we were. Some people saw it right from the get-go. So I'm not saying everybody, but then once you did wake up to it, you started to realize just how enslaved of people we are, and just what any little bit of freedom. Nobody gives you freedom. You're born free. We started to realize those things. So we're in the dark night of the soul. That's what this guy's doing. But he's coming out, and if you notice, the sun's rising. So we're waiting for that rising sun. We need to get to the other side of this. We're so invested, though. We're like so far through. There's no turning back here. Like there's no turning back. You're in transition. You're even past transition. Like if you were in a birth, it's called transition, where now you're trying to turn back and say, forget it. I don't want to birth this baby. It's like, no, it's coming now. So don't even think about it. And the hard parts are starting, where you get those, like we're going to get, like if we thought we had gut punches, like if we all got locked down again tomorrow or in the next days coming over a new thing that monkeys are involved in, do you know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
Something ridiculous. We're all going to have to trust that big shift is coming, and this is likely the excuse they're going to use. Do you know what I mean? Like, what else can we do? There's not much else we could do, right? We'll have to put up with a few more gut punches, like likely some big events that look really bad at the beginning, and everybody's going to be scared, and all your family members. And so we're going to need a lot of strength. We're going to need a sense of humor. We're going to need to stay close and not rip each other apart when we're feeling disappointed. And all of this could happen in the next month.
Yeah,
that's a big potential, but certainly in between now and I don't think there's going to be a U.S. That thing that happens in November. So it's sometime between now and then. This has all gone down. So we're at crunch time, regardless what exact day it happens. Of course, they'll never tell us the exact day, and that's probably good. I mean, we can't be telling the bad guys when the exact day is that the big roundups are going to happen. But yeah, it's all like right now, there's nothing to do but stay focused in the visualization of your future life and what it could be as if it's already happening. Like you're going to have to stay positive, loving, be kind to each other, and we'll get through this together and get to that sunshine that we know is there. That the light's at the end of the tunnel. We know it's there. It'll take trust in the universe right now.
Yes.
Absolutely. We have to stay together. That's our soul tribe. Everyone has to stay together, stay focused, and not rip everyone apart. Perfectly said. Janine, couldn't have said it any better. That's why you are the queen of ravens.
Yeah. Love and light.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And everyone loves you in the chat. Guys, if you want, you guys have to. It's not even a question. Have to. I'm only going to use her initials, okay? It's tbj.com. Our moderators, put the TBJ.
Love it.
Yeah, put it in the chat. Go. Yeah. It's a cup of coffee for amazing information that is going to get us through the difficult times. We haven't even hit the climax yet. We need to stay together. Janine, we love you. We love you. We are a soul tribe. We are a soul family. I wanted to have that message. Selfishly, I wanted you to pull cards on me, but I think our soul tribe needed to hear that message more than me. So I hope I get some love from our soul tribe now. Yes.
So yeah, I'm going to say something to Jason here. Okay. So it looks like there's a really big travel coming up in about 10, and I'm not sure if that's weeks or months. Do you have a big plan where you could travel quite like all over the place? Did you have something you were planning to do?
I was planning to go somewhere this weekend. I can't go for an extended period of time because school, my work is going to be starting Monday through Friday, but I can travel on certain weekends.
Okay, but I'm getting something bigger.
Okay.
Like you might be traveling, and maybe I'm talking 10 months away, but there's something on the other side of this where you go on a big travel tour.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm going to be open to it 1,000%. Anything can happen in 10 months.
Yeah.
Anything, absolutely. I'm open to it. I'm open to it. Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Yes.
Well,
I appreciate that, Janine, so much. And I know our soul tribe family appreciates you coming on here.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't make this be the only time. We want to have you back. Kristen.
Okay, I'm coming back.
Yes. And I know you usually close out the show, but we're not closing it out. We're just going to be excusing Janine from the show. Kristen, your last words for Janine.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to overwork it, Janine. Because I know I've got probably 2 more hours to go with this guy.
Girl, you're so hard working.
Oh, man. Yeah, but thank you so much. It's been such a blessing to finally meet you and to have you here. So yeah, please come back whenever you want. You are welcome. Open invitation anytime.
Right on.
Yeah.
When big things start happening, we'll definitely have to all jump on here.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe really spontaneously, right?
Yeah, definitely. And tell John Claude we all love him and we say hello.
Yes.
Yeah, and he might be watching actually.
Oh wow. Well, hello, John Claude.
Well, I'm glad you inspired me to be a host. So I try to, you, John Claude.
You're doing great. You guys are both awesome. You're really good at this. And I watched a couple of your lives and I thought they were really, really good.
Oh,
lots of fun.